Game Clique.
The game that I'm playing, I'm done playing. I beat it today. I was like, I need to see the end of this before we talk about it. And those that know about it already. It's called Animal Well.
Oh
yeah. So like, if you in the indie circle, like this has been like,
I'm not.
It's been the talk of the town.
It's been the talk of the town. So this dude,
Yeah, critical darling.
A little bit of it. It looked like Super Meat Boy on an acid trip. That's what I thought.
Honestly, it's not a bad description.
Yeah.
It's not a bad description.
So I'm not familiar with the content creators. A dude named Dunkey. So he got pretty popular. I think he's like known for making Halo content. And he basically was like, I'm going to start publishing games. Like I want to help like these smaller devs out and like help publish the games for him. And this is his first project. His publisher's called BIGMODE. And this is his first game. So I wanted to shout that out because what I've been seeing on Twitter is a lot of people have been saying that Dunkey made the game. And that's really not the case. He just helped kind of like fund and make it happen. It's made by this dude who, like, now his name escapes me. But I'm going to shout him out. I'm going to put it in the captions or something.
Okay.
Still like a kid is.
I don't want to take time to Google.
You know someone's calling sound like it's Sergio. Like, God damn it.
Somebody else Google it. I don't know.
Oh, that's funny.
So this has been like a crazy year for Metroidvanias, right? Like we got like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We got
Tales of Kenzera.
I'm about to do the thing that you do.
Yeah.
Legends of the Tales of Kenzera.
What?
Duke has been doing this like all.
I just been adding tales of the everything lately. What has been going on?
So, and we talked about Tales when we kind of reviewed it week before last. And the one issue that I walked away from, which is really not the fault of the people who made it, is that it came out so soon after Prince of Persia.
100%.
It felt like Prince of Persia was kind of eating his lunch. Like it really was no reason for Tales of Kenzera to kind of like exist in this space. Animal Well doesn't have that problem because even though it's a Metroidvania, it's so different than anything.
It looks more like a platformer than.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's zero combat. Like you never get any weapon in the game. It's literally just.
You do have enemies to evade.
Yes, there are enemies to evade. There are boss battles. Per se, like there are boss fights, but you aren't hitting the boss. It's so much you kind of tricking the boss into hitting himself.
It's the Mario level when you get the Bowser's.
Like Mario 3.
Yeah,
when he's kind of like, hell, that was a good.
Yeah, you gotta hit the switch. Yeah.
That was a good ass reference.
Everybody's good for that. You know I am. You know I'm always good for that. I'm good for comparisons.
But like, so when I seen these trailers and those that know me, I always kind of go towards like the quirky, kind of underdog kind of game. Like even for me, the footage didn't really speak out to me, and it wasn't until I seen this kind of like uproar about it that I was like, I need to go check this out. This may be on my top 10 games of the year. Like that's how surprisingly good this game is.
Yeah, but you're a whore though. Like you're very easily swayed. Like I swear, like everything new. Like
no, I will say in Brian's defense, like people have called this already the definitive like indie game of the year. Like when Game Awards season comes around, like it's that good. It's that good.
I just gotta like. He is a whore. Like he is.
I get it. Don't get me wrong, but in this case, he might be telling the truth.
His fingers are loose. Like
he might be telling the truth this time.
Like he need to get tested in these fingers for real. Like you just be touching any console and controller, it'd be weird, bro.
I'm not a fanboy. I'm a whore. I played it on PlayStation, so
you still a slut.
So the reason why this is so good is...
What's your favorite console?
I don't have one. What do you mean? I play them all equally. I love all my children.
You know he has a PlayStation VR too.
Oh wow.
Two Sergio. Two.
What do you be playing on a PSVR 2?
Nothing at the moment. But
I bet.
He be
I
playing
bet.
himself.
There's nothing else to play.
They're coming.
That bank account played itself for sure.
Man.
I had to be ready. I had to have it at the ready. Just
Okay, I respect it. I respect it. I don't got one. I'm trying to get like you. So, go ahead.
Like you
Yeah.
director of esports. You ain't got no titles like that.
So, like, if you are into game development, or if you're somebody who is interested in kind of like learning game development, I really think that Animal Well is a masterclass at how to make a game without the stereotypical tutorial. Like, this game drops you in this world. It never tells you like press X to jump. It never tells you what items do. It's kind of got like, I know we just said we were tired of. I didn't want to say that
it got a from software approach to video games.
But that's a compliment, because like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, they never sit you down and be like, all right, this is the most powerful weapon. This is what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to roll towards enemies. Like, there's never any of that, but it's so intuitive that you figure it out. Like, you figure out how you're supposed to live in this world, and Animal Well does that like to a T. So in regards to indie games, what this reminded me of the most, and which is funny because it just got added to PlayStation Plus as well, Tunic, the kind of Dark Souls Zelda-like where you're playing as a fox. Yeah. So it drops you in the world Tunic does. And it does the same thing where it doesn't explain any buttons. It doesn't explain where to go, what you're looking for, what's the end game. But as much as I love Tunic, it came off.
Didn't the old school Zeldas do that?
Yeah.
The same way? We didn't have no tutorials in Zelda.
Which is definitely, especially like the first Zelda on NES.
Yeah, the very first Zelda.
Definitely did that. And I really think that's Animal Well's inspiration. But the problem with Tunic is it came off as obtuse when it did that. Like, the puzzles weren't always kind of like
intuitive.
Yeah, you couldn't really figure out. I had to Google answers a lot in Tunic and Google where to go and find walkthroughs. And
are you trying to say that as in like it was unintuitive or you just dumb?
I figured
because I'll admit I'm just dumb. I have to look up my puzzles all the time, so hey, I'm gonna own it.
I figured out Animal Well though, so if I'm dumb
in like 10 minutes, no. If I don't get it in 10 minutes, I'm normally typing like.
Same. And look,
it's an enjoyable puzzle because sometimes it's actually enjoyable, but very rarely is that happening.
Yeah. And I really want to avoid giving any real detail. I hate that I tweeted out the videos that I tweeted already because those are like some really weird ass surprises in the game. But it's just.
Well, I had absolutely no context.
And that's
I was
what
just
I was
like,
hoping.
what the hell is he jumping over? I said, why is it this color scheme? I was really asking all kinds of questions. I was like, am I on the acid trip or was the developer on the acid trip? Was Champ on the acid trip? Because like, it was weird. It was weird.
As weird as things are, and again, this is like another comparison to like those From Software games where weird things happen, but if you spend enough time in those games and in that world, it doesn't seem weird to you. Like it's weird and it subverts your expectations, but it's logical.
You sound like a predator. Like you sound like somebody that be on the corner.
I'm a predator. What is happening?
Drugs to the community. This sound like something that a drug dealer would say. Like
Cat Williams really did us dirty at the beginning of the year. Boy.
You like embrace it. Like once you embrace it, you're cool with it. It's good.
Real like Kendrick Lamar allegations at me right now.
Agree. You're not like us. I don't know what else to tell you.
But I do think, Brian, that I've heard people describe it as like Animal Well teaches you a language. Like you're learning the language of the game as you go. With the abilities, I played it as well. I have it on my PlayStation, and I'm even thinking it's so good. I'm thinking about getting it on my Steam Deck so that I can play it handheld as well. But just it like you said, it's a Metroidvania, but I even struggle to classify it as just that because there's so many elements. Like you said, there are no weapons. You're dropped into a world and not told this is what you're supposed to do. you know, there's so many times where you even have older items within this game, and then you use it later on, and then you discover, oh wow, I didn't know this item could also be used for this and can help me in this part of the map. You know, they have the map markers, which if you're, once again, dumb like me, I need them. I need to be able to know where I'm going back to and what I need to go be looking for. So it's really just an incredible game. I'm also big into game soundtracks. Soundtracks is very important to me. And if you like cozy games, this is how you get lost in it, because the music will put you in a trance and you'll be continuously dying or having to repeat the same puzzle, and you're going to continue to do it just because you're so infatuated with what you're experiencing. And so I absolutely love it. I don't, the top 10, I'll have to sit down and really look at what would be in my top 10. But I will be.
See, I like him.
Oh, but I genuinely do think that at the end of the year, if this is not at least in the conversation of indie game of the year, then we had an incredible year of indie gaming, because this is a great start to. I can't remember the person you said that funded the game, but if this is a start to his catalog of funding, then he needs to keep it up. He's picking good projects.
Yeah, and that you brought up a good point about, like, this is technically a Metroidvania, but it parts of it make it not feel like that. And I think one thing that made me question calling it that was, with a Metroidvania, you get to a progress gate where it's like, it's obvious I can't go any further until I get this. But I've talked to some other people that played the game, and you can kind of do things. There is no particular order to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I'm trying to remember the items that I got in what order, but I think I got the bubble wand first, then the frisbee. No, I got the firecracker, bubble wand, frisbee, and then like so on and so forth. And then I talked to somebody else, and they actually got the slinky, then the bubble wand, then the firecracker, and so it's and Duke's just like.
I told you, it's a language. We're literally like talking a different language because of the game. But it's entrancing. I'm telling you, dude. You got to try it. You got to try it.
And it's on PlayStation Plus.
I've known the drugs all my life, and I want to continue actually.
Well, you can enjoy both at the same time. If that's your thing, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, it may be even better.
Not shrooms. This might like break you.
Don't do that. That might break you. Yeah, that might. The little cat, that might do it to you.
So, all right. So this game, and also I didn't know this was on PlayStation Plus Extra. So if you have Extra and Premium, is included in that.
It's free. I can go try my ass at
that's why I got it. I saw it was free. I was like, let me see what's going on.
But yeah, it's on everything. It's on PlayStation Plus. It's on PlayStation Switch.
So the character or thing that you're playing as, what is it? Because it looked like just a meatball.
Unclear.
I don't know. They never tell us. That's the beauty of it. They never tell us. You just exist. You're just a being.
But I think they went out their way. Everything in the game to me feels like it's purposeful. So they just wanted you to look like this very meek, soft ball of like weakness. Like you never feel like, this is another thing, unlike other Metroidvanias, where as you progress, you unlock new powers, you unlock new weapons, and you feel like by the time you get to the end of the game, you're like this super badass. You never feel like that. You always feel like you're the weakest thing in the room. You always have to run or strategize or figure something out. Even at the end of the game, you're just like, woof, I
play video games for escapism, not to be a black person again.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Noted.
It's good. It's good. Dude, play it.
Yeah, I mean, it's free. I'm going to go try this. Yeah, that's the word. I was curious. That's all I'll say. I am curious of the acid trip I saw.